When the first trailer for Transformers 1 released a few months ago, viewers and fans alike were trepidatious, to say the least. I personally watched the trailer and thought, oh, well, that's definitely something. As time has gone on, I've watched the trailer a few more times and a couple of TV spots that have been released. But I've actually now come around from that first trailer, and I'm quite excited to see the film. The movie's second trailer just released, and so I thought we would take a watch through it and see what we can spot. At the start of the trailer, we see what is most likely a later point in the movie after Optimus Prime and Megatron's friendship has fallen apart. We see Megatron deploy his fusion cannon and destruction all over Cybertron. Notice the Seekers flying around right before we see Megatron and Optimus face each other. We see Orion and D16 at their job. It looks as if these bots are minors. As we've heard from some synopsises from the movie, these characters are not yet able to transform. They are a part of a lower class system of Cybertron. Orion stands up to Darkwing, a classic G1 character, after having a troublesome run-in with him. Notice in the background when D16 asks Orion to stop, he already has the Decepticon symbol on his shoulder. Optimus makes the classic transformation noise when he asks Darkwing to guess which one of his fingers can transform. D16 shows off his strength by saving Orion, potentially showing that Orion might not be as great of a fighter as D16. Orion and D16 talk about having each other's back, and of course, in a tragic fashion, D16 says he always will. In what seems to be almost a Star Wars callback, the main characters of this movie get an emergency broadcast call from Alpha Trion. We see a quick clip of Starscream transforming and firing against an opponent. My guess is that this happens at some point later in the film. Orion says that this is an SOS call, and D16 finishes his sentence by saying it's from the surface. The surface of Cybertron is not currently inhabited, or at least these main characters are not allowed to go up there. We see what we believe to be the Quintesson's ship flying over Cybertron and scanning for life forms. In the next scene, I think it's just best to let Bumblebee explain it.
A cave with teeth. Nothing scary about that.
We hear the mention of Primus, who is, if you don't know, the creator of the original Transformers. In this large room, there seem to be quite a few different characters that have fought in battle. Interestingly enough, Alpha Trion is one of these. Notice how he is covered in moss and overgrown plant life. That might mean that his SOS message is an old recording that the main cast find. It looks as if Alpha Trion is taking the T-Cogs, or transformation cogs as they are called, from the other Transformers that are around him and giving them to our main cast, allowing them to, of course, transform. As we saw in the first trailer, some of the comedy of this movie comes from the fact that these characters don't know how to transform. And I actually find this quite funny. I don't think it's something that the franchise has really explored that much. We hear Alpha Trion specifically say, how you choose to use this power is up to you. The next scene is hilarious, as Orion Pax, or most likely Optimus Prime at this point, says that they're going to roll out. In the background, we see that Skywarp doesn't really quite hear him. What's awesome about the scene is we see a lot of new characters. Shockwave, Soundwave, Skywarp, what looks to be, perhaps, Thrust and Slipstream in the background, as well as many other characters that I can't quite make out. It's interesting to note that at this point in the movie, it seems like the Transformers that have the transformation ability are not yet divided between Autobots and Decepticons. It seems as if Optimus and Megatron will co-lead this new revolution before things take a sour turn. Orion and D16 talk about building a better world. D16 says that they could be so much more, and we get a quick glimpse of Arachnid in the movie. We also get the same shot from the first trailer of Sentinel Prime being attacked by the Quintessons. Alita and Optimus talk about how Megatron is different, and we immediately get a scene of Megatron attacking Starscream in what seems to be a circle of other characters. Perhaps this is how Megatron proves that he is a new leader of the Decepticons. We hear Optimus ask what happened to his best friend, as we see footage of a Cybertronian race. I do believe that this race has already been named, but I could not find the exact name of it. Also, an interesting note here that Megatron has now scratched the Decepticon emblem into his own chest. We see the Decepticon emblem being burned onto another Decepticon, perhaps Megatron himself, and we hear him saying, "to burn it down." We see a large group of Seekers celebrating the destruction of a Quintesson ship, but it seems as if the explosion is a little bit bigger than they had anticipated. Optimus and Megatron face off against each other, and Optimus says that they could have built the future together. Megatron's answer, though, is that he does not think so. Near the end of the trailer, we also get a shot of Megatron rising up and calling the Decepticons to follow him. Perhaps maybe near the end of the movie, when Megatron takes his rightful place as the leader of the Decepticons. We also see a battle between Elita as well as Arachnid, a pairing that seems quite fitting. Perhaps these two will be rivals. During the final clip, we see Optimus Prime fighting Shockwave, Megatron, and Starscream. Something I noticed in the background is a statue-esque portrait that has been built within the Cybertronian walls. Perhaps this is a depiction of the original Primes, who inhabited Cybertron and built the cities. The last clip of the trailer after the title is actually quite interesting. We see Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Elita being held at gunpoint by some well-known Decepticons, but also notice that Megatron is with them. This seems to be at a point in the movie where Megatron has not yet gone to the Decepticons. Perhaps this group is a group of rebels trying to rise up against their leaders, but they aren't having much success. Bumblebee makes a joke about how he recognizes Soundwave, Shockwave, Starscream, and he asks characters to raise their hand if they have the name Wave in their name. We also get to hear, just for a brief moment, the first line from Starscream, who is being voiced by the ever-so-amazing Steve Buscemi. How he has not already voiced Starscream yet amazes me. It's a perfect casting in my mind. So that was the second trailer for Transformers 1. As I stated at the beginning of this video, I originally wasn't that excited for this movie. This second trailer, though, has gotten me a lot more excited, especially also because there was a recent fan screening for this film, and a lot of people are saying that the movie is actually really, really good. We'll have to wait, though, till September. By then, I'll have my own review for the movie once it comes out. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this new trailer down in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time.